Right now, you are saying something. You are not speaking. You may not be moving at all. But your body is broadcasting a continuous stream of information to every person in the room about your confidence, your anxiety, your interest, your dominance, your fear. And the people around you are reading it. Not consciously, not deliberately, but reading it nonetheless with a system so ancient and so fast that it operates entirely beneath the threshold of conscious thought. You have no idea what you are saying, and neither do they. The real story of body language is not what most people think. It is not a code to be cracked, a set of tricks to memorize, a way to detect liars or project power. It is something far more fundamental. It is the original human language, the one that predates speech by millions of years, the one that still runs underneath every conversation you have ever had, shaping how people feel about you before a single word is exchanged. And the most important thing to understand about it is this: you cannot turn it off. Your body is always communicating. When you cross your arms, when you make eye contact, when you look away, when you lean forward, when you touch your face, when you mirror someone's posture without noticing, every one of these behaviors is part of a signal system so deeply embedded in your biology that no amount of conscious control can fully override it. You can manage it. You can learn to read it. But you cannot stop it. The first thing you need to understand is that body language is not a human invention. It is an evolutionary inheritance. Social animals that communicate through posture and movement have been doing so for hundreds of millions of years. The dominant posture, body expanded, chest forward, head high, is visible in fish, in lizards, in birds, in primates, in humans. The submission posture, body contracted, shoulders forward, gaze averted, is equally ancient, equally universal. Before your ancestors had words, before they had grammar, before they had any way to convey abstract meaning through sound, they had bodies. And those bodies were already talking. Dr. Amy Cuddy, a social psychologist at Harvard Business School, became famous for research suggesting that adopting a high-power posture changes not just how others perceive you but how your own body responds, altering cortisol and testosterone levels, shifting the chemistry of confidence. Her work generated controversy and fierce debate in the scientific community about exact replication and effect sizes. But what held up across the research was something simpler and more profound. Posture affects psychology. How you hold your body changes how you feel. The feedback loop between body and mind runs in both directions. You are not simply expressing your internal state through your body. Your body is also creating your internal state. This is a radical idea. Most people assume that emotions cause physical expressions, that you feel confident and then stand tall, that you feel afraid and then shrink. The relationship is more complex than that. William James, the 19th century philosopher and psychologist, proposed something that sounded absurd when he wrote it: "We do not tremble because we are afraid. We are afraid because we tremble." The physical response and the emotional experience are not in a simple cause and effect relationship. They are entangled. They inform each other. And the body often leads. Nowhere is this more visible than in the face. Paul Ekman spent decades studying facial expressions across cultures, living with remote tribes in Papua New Guinea who had had no contact with Western media, asking them to match photographs of emotional expressions to stories, checking whether people who had never seen a movie or a magazine could recognize a face of fear, or joy or disgust. They could, universally, without variation. What Ekman found changed the understanding of human emotion permanently. There are 7 basic facial expressions that are universal across all human cultures: happiness, sadness, anger, fear, disgust, contempt, and surprise. These expressions are not learned. They are biological. Blind people who have never seen a face express happiness, sadness, and fear in the same ways as sighted people, because the expressions are not copied. They are coded in. But faces are not just outputs. They are inputs. In a series of studies, researchers asked participants to hold a pen in their teeth, forcing a smile-like muscle configuration while reading cartoons, and to hold a pen with their lips, preventing a smile while doing the same. The people forced into the smile configuration rated the cartoons as funnier. Not because they were happier, because the facial muscles associated with happiness sent a signal back to the brain that amplified the experience of amusement. The face was not reporting an emotion. It was creating one. This is called the facial feedback hypothesis. and it has broader implications than it first appears. It means that the expressions your face makes, even involuntarily, even partially, are shaping your emotional experience in real time. The mask you wear is not just a performance. It is partly a generator. Now consider what this means for the people around you. Humans are extraordinarily good at reading faces, far better than we are at reading any other signal. The dedicated neural architecture for face processing in the human brain is extensive, overlapping with systems for social cognition, emotion, and memory. You recognize faces faster than you recognize anything else. You detect emotional expressions in faces presented for as little as 33 milliseconds, faster than you can consciously register that you saw anything at all. And these rapid readings shape your behavior immediately, before your conscious mind has had time to form an opinion. You have made up your mind about someone before you know you have made up your mind. There is a class of facial signals that Ekman called microexpressions. Involuntary, high-speed flashes of genuine emotion that cross the face in less than a fifth of a second before the person has time to suppress them. They are too fast for most people to detect consciously, but they register subconsciously, contributing to what you experience as a gut feeling about someone. The sense that something is off, that someone is not being fully honest, that the smile did not reach the eyes. Microexpressions are the face telling the truth before the mouth has a chance to manage it. Beyond the face, the most socially powerful channel of body language is proximity and touch. The anthropologist Edward T. Hall coined the term proxemics in the 1960s to describe the study of how humans use space. He found that humans operate within a system of invisible spatial zones, an intimate zone of roughly 0 to 18 inches, a personal zone of 18 inches to 4 feet, a social zone of 4 to 12 feet, and a public zone beyond 12 feet. These zones are not arbitrary. They are biologically calibrated. Allowing someone into your intimate zone is a statement of trust or attraction. Having someone enter it uninvited produces a stress response that is measurable in heart rate and cortisol. Touch is even more powerful. Dacher Keltner at the University of California, Berkeley, has studied touch extensively and found that brief, appropriate touch increases trust, cooperation, and feelings of connection, and that humans can accurately identify complex emotions, compassion, anger, gratitude, love, communicated through touch alone, without any visual cues. In one study, strangers could communicate emotions through touch with accuracy rates significantly above chance, in some cases matching the accuracy of face-to-face communication. Touch is a language, and it may be the oldest one. There is one more dimension to body language that is almost never discussed in popular accounts. Synchrony. When two people are genuinely connecting, when a conversation is going well, when rapport is real rather than performed, their bodies begin to synchronize. Breathing rates align. Postures mirror each other. Gesture timing begins to match. Heart rates, in studies where they can be measured, begin to converge. This synchrony is not conscious. It is not a technique. It is something that emerges automatically from genuine social attunement, from the same neural systems that allow you to feel what another person is feeling. The neuroscientist Giacomo Rizzolatti discovered mirror neurons in the 1990s, neurons that fire both when you perform an action and when you observe someone else performing the same action. The implications for social cognition were profound. Your brain is not just watching other people's behavior. It is simulating it, running it internally, feeling what it might feel like to be in the other person's body. When someone flinches, you flinch slightly. When someone smiles, your smile muscles activate. When someone is in pain, the regions of your brain that process pain are activated. You are not separate from the people around you. At a neurological level, you are partly running them. And this brings us back to the beginning, to the signal you are broadcasting right now without awareness or permission, to the readings happening in the people around you, below the threshold of consciousness, shaping how they feel about you in ways neither of you will ever fully name. The hidden language your body speaks is not a code you need to crack. It is something you are already fluent in. You have been reading and writing it since the moment you were born. Every time you felt comfortable or uncomfortable around someone without knowing why. Every time you knew something was wrong before a word was said. Every time a room felt different the moment someone walked in. That was not intuition. That was language. Ancient, biological, continuous, and impossibly precise. You are always speaking it. And right now, in this moment, someone near you is listening.